Our next comedian is a former member of New York's famed Friars Club. He loves to tell stories, and you can see him if anybody has gone to the website oldjewstellingjokes.com. He has a number of his jokes on there. Originally from Brooklyn, New York, now living in West Palm Beach, Richard Levine.
Hi, everybody. First story concerns Murray the waiter. Murray was a professional waiter for 60 years and he passed away. And his wife is grieving. I miss my Murray, I miss my Murray. And a friend says, you know, you got to stop grieving. It's enough already. He died 3 years ago. I know, but I miss him. I wish I could see him. She says, see him? Why don't you go to a seance? She says, a what? A seance. She says, what's that? That's where they sit around the table and they meditate, and sometimes the departed appears. She says, you know, I'm going to try it. She goes to a seance, walks into the room, big round table, people sitting around. She takes a seat, sits there. The leader says, okay, everybody, close your eyes, think of the departed, and maybe they'll appear. She closes her eyes. A few minutes, the table starts shaking, rattling. It lifts a few inches off the ground. She's startled, opens her eyes, looks and sees her husband Murray standing there in the corner in his waiter's outfit. Black suit, white shirt, black bow tie, a towel draped over his arm. She says, Murray, darling, Murray, is that you? He says, yes, sweetheart, it's me. She says, come here, come over here. He says, I can't, that's not my table. A woman calls up a friend. She says, Becky, I understand you got a new apartment. She says, I do. Why don't you come over and visit? She says, I love to visit, but I don't know where you live. You got to give me directions. She says, I live at 1486 86th Street. You take the train, get off of 86th Street, you walk, you see a big apartment house, 1486. Outside's a double door. With the right elbow, press down the handle from the door, push open the door, you'll be in what we call a vestibule. In the vestibules are a list of bells. I'm apartment 4B. With the left elbow, press 4B. It'll ring upstairs. As soon as I hear the ring, I'll buzz you. When you hear the buzz, with the right elbow, press down the handle from the inside door, push open the door, and walk straight ahead to the elevator, and with the left elbow, press up. You get in the elevator, with the right elbow, press 4 to the 4th floor. You'll go to the 4th floor. As soon as you get there, you walk straight ahead to buy apartment 4B. With the left elbow, press the doorbell. With the right elbow, press a couple of knocks on the door. She says, I'll come home, I'll answer the door, you'll come in, I'll make coffee. She says, just a second. What kind of directions is this for the elbows? The left elbow, the right? I never heard such directions before in my life. What's with the elbows? She says, what? You're coming empty-handed? This Jewish guy's walking down the street, he passes by a shoe store. He sees a pair of burgundy boots. He says, you know, I always wanted a pair from burgundy boots. I think I'm going to go and try it on. So he walks in, he tries on the boots. He says, this is perfect. It fits perfect. I'm going to wear it home and surprise Becky. He puts the boots on, he walks home, he walks into his apartment. He says, Becky, you see anything different from me? She says, what? You look like a slob yesterday, you look like a slob today, you look like a slob tomorrow. He says, just a second. Walks into the bathroom, gets completely undressed except for his boots. He walks out, he says, now you see anything different? She says, what? The schmeckel, it's hanging yesterday, you know. It's hanging today, tomorrow I'll hang the same thing. He says, you know why it's hanging? It's looking at my new boots. It's not over. She says, you know, Jakey, better you should have bought a hat. This guy's in Texas. He's grooming a bull. And every day he's out there grooming. He wants to win a blue ribbon. And one morning he comes and opens up his barn door and he notices the bull is there, but the bull's balls are painted red. He says, what son of a bitch painted my bull's balls red? out who it is. He runs into the local saloon, opens up the door, place is filled with Texans. He says, all right, which one of you son of a bitches painted my bull's balls red? Come and face me, you no good bastard. A big Texan gets up, walks over, he says, I'm the guy that went to a hardware store, bought a can of paint, took a paintbrush, and in the middle of the night I broke into your barn, and I took that paint, took the cover off, and I took the brush, put it in that paint, and I'm the guy that painted your bull's balls red. Now what do you got to say about that? So I came to tell you, the first coat is dry. In Texas, Morris has a blue ribbon bull. A blue ribbon bull that every day it's winning blue ribbons. I'm sorry, I'm screwed. Every year it's winning blue ribbons. So his friend says, Morris, you know, this bull is winning blue ribbons, but it's getting old. You should get a cow. He says, you know, it's a good idea. He says, yeah, then you could mate the bull and the cow and you'll have offsprings. He says, okay. He looks on the internet, he finds the best cows in the world are from a town in Russia called Minsk. He flies over to Minsk, picks out a cow, has it crated, has it shipped back to his ranch, and he calls everybody around the corral. We're going to see the mating of the bull and the cow. He says, all right, let the cow out. The cow comes out, meandering around. He says, all right, release the bull. And the bull comes out, takes one look at the cow, charges after the cow, mounts the cow, and all of a sudden the cow veers off to the left. Look, and now the bull is getting very frustrated, charges the cow again, ready to mount the cow, and the cow veers off to the right. Now steam is coming out. He charges after the bull, mounts the bull, ready to insert himself, and the cow wiggles away. And one of Morris's friends says, Morris, this cow you got, this cow's from Minsk? He says, yeah, how did you know? He says, my wife's from Minsk. A woman sitting together with a friend in an apartment. Doorbell rings. She answers the door. A florist is standing there with a box. She says, what is this? He says, you got flowers. Brings it inside. She opens up the box. She says to her friend, look at this, a dozen roses. Look at this. She says, well, who's it from? Takes out the cup. Look at this. It's from my husband, Jakey. He sent me a dozen roses. You know what that means? She says, what does it mean? She says, tonight I'm going to have to spread my legs. She says, what's the matter, Becky? You don't have a base? You don't have I'm going to spread my legs. What's the matter? You don't have a base. Anyway, I'll try to make it up. In Texas, a little Jewish guy is sitting there and he watched people go up to the bar. This fellow walks up to the bar and says, give me a scotch and soda or else. All right, yes, sir, here's a scotch and soda. Next guy, give me a scotch and soda or else. Yes, sir. Next one, give me a scotch and soda or else. And the bartender says, yes, sir. He figures it's his turn. Walks over, he says, give me a scotch and soda or else. The bartender says, or else what? Or else a 7-Up, a Coca-Cola, a ginger ale. Thank you.